Creamer Media's Mining Weekly is interviewing July Ndlovu, the CEO of Thungela, which has just declared a 1.4 billion rand interim dividend payout and put another 156 million rand into its employee trust and community partnership. When will your solar power be generated at Zabula, which I think is about 4 megawatt, and how much sun power will you be generating at Elders?
When we announced these projects, we said that we're looking at putting 4 megawatt each at Zabula and Elders. We are in the process of doing the feasibility studies. As soon as we complete those, we'll announce those to the market.
What are you doing about keeping water clean and drinkable?
We've got the Emalahleni water treatment plant where we're treating water, and we've done a fantastic job. In fact, the city of Emalahleni is at this point in time quite dependent on the water that we produce there. We're supplying them between 20 and 25 megaliters every day of clean water for the community. Over and above that, we're really doing some groundbreaking work with passive water treatment plants, which will actually produce water that is for sustainable use without using expensive chemicals. We've one which is already working at an old closed colliery called Fryhead. We've just commissioned another one in the Witbank area that, again, we're beginning to see very good results.
And how many of those million trees targeted by you for planting have been planted? And how will the environment benefit from your tree planting program?
I can tell you the guys are planting lots and lots of trees as we speak. In fact, when I was last at Kurigop, to give you a sense on one of our mines, which is where we started planting the trees, this year alone, they already had planted 6,000 trees. I know that we're planting trees on the other mines. What is the constraint in terms of our feed to plant these trees is our ability to generate the seedlings. And we have already commissioned a community nursery to produce these trees. We'll be opening that community-owned nursery that will support to be able to generate the 1 million trees that we need. Actually, we're opening it up in 2 weeks' time. So again, I'm quite excited about this. When we took the decision to plant these trees, this was not for carbon offsets. I need to be clear. This is actually a technology for cleaning water that is contaminated. What these trees are able to do is to absorb heavy minerals in the soils and the water that is contaminated and fix it in the tree. For us, that is the primary interest. And of course, there is a benefit. Hopefully someday I can calculate what the carbon capture of a million trees is.
You're on the way to giving 1.5 billion to your 4,500 employees and communities since inception. To date, what are the visible benefits of this to employees and communities? And how many enterprises are operating as a result of your Tutukani enterprise?
So we got to split all three, the Sisonke one, the Nkulo one, and then the Tutukani, because there are three different things. When it comes to employees, we pay that money to them, right? And obviously they then do what they want to do with the money. I'm just encouraged by the stories I hear from our employees. Where, as I go around the mines, I hear, for instance, employees, low-level employees who, as a result of the value that we have shared with them, for the very first time, took their families on a holiday to Cape Town, which they would never, ever have been able to do. We think that is what our purpose actually enjoys us to do. When it comes to the Nkulo Trust, what we have asked the trustees to do is to develop a strategy which is like that as they begin to invest in projects and activities in the areas that are impacted by activities, they can truly leave a legacy, not just go and build a taxi shed here and there. We want them to actually build flagship interventions that will leave a long-lasting legacy, that will outlive us long before we finish our mining activities. This was always going to take time, Martin. But I'm glad and pleased with the work that the trustees have done, and they're on the verge of actually beginning to put things on the ground. We will share that progress with the stakeholders, either through our annual reports or through calls like this one. Then on to Tukani, which is a completely different program, which is the Enterprise Development Program. You'll be pleased to know that a month ago, I met with the first graduates of that program. roughly 26 of them, in all different activities, and was able to hear what their aspirations are. But more importantly, connect those suppliers to our mine users, so that actually we're not just developing suppliers for the sake of it, but we're developing suppliers who can supply to our mines. And I'm looking forward to reporting those results on a go-forward basis.
And when will you restore the fish that were killed when polluted mine water spilled into the Kromdraai Spruit and the Wilke River?
In September, we are officially opening the hatchery for growing fish to reintroduce into the river ecosystem that died. We've already completed its construction. It is beginning to breed fish on the Loskop Dam.
And what, in your view, should be the biggest takeaway from this interview I'm doing with you now?
That Thungela lives its purpose to responsibly create value. That we are testimony that we share value with all our stakeholders. This is not just about dividends for shareholders. Even our employees and communities are better off as a result of our activities. But more importantly, that we're a responsible owner of assets. That question you just asked me on restoring the environment that was damaged as a result of the spill at Kromdraai, I want you to be able to report back to society that Thungela is delivered on their promise when they said, we will do what is right and we'll do what it takes to restore the ecosystem.
That was Creamer Media's Mining Weekly, interviewing July Ndlovu, the CEO of Thungela.